This is part one of why Black people don't trust hospitals. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I am from Baltimore, Maryland, also known as Baltimore, and my maternal lineage moved up to Baltimore in the 1920s by way of the Great Migration from Atlanta, Georgia. We are also from Augusta, Savannah, the Carolinas, and a lot of places down south. Now, growing up, my grandmother was born in the 1940s, and it was well known that Johns Hopkins was a place that would kidnap people and torture them and experiment on them, and people would be snatched up in broad daylight. There was a saying that goes, and people in Baltimore know this saying, that you don't want to be caught around John Hopkins because those people will snatch you up in broad daylight. Now, it just so happened that my people lived in East Baltimore. My grandmother was born and raised in East Baltimore, right by John Hopkins. Now, one day I was driving in like this path, which is actually not far from John Hopkins, and I saw this theater that says in broad daylight. And y'all know me, I get the spirit messages quick. You know, it don't take long for my mind and my brain and my spiritual body to break down and analyze the meaning and the subliminals behind things. So I said, oh, wait, I know damn well these people ain't playing in our faces, right? Also, my grandmother, when she was a young girl and she had a cold and she was taken to John Hopkins, do you know that they gave her radiation for a cold? So the experimenting and the torture that has been done to Black people for centuries going into these hospitals is unexplainable, right? And see, my grandmother was born and raised in Jim Crow, so she kept it real about a lot of her experience and the things that she went through when it comes to racism. But a lot of people don't have a grandmother who was born in the 1940s, and my grandmother didn't die until 2019, so that means I got to sit at her feet and be told a lot of stories and things that happened to her. Now, what I say all this to say because a lot of people go into the hospital in this day and age blindly, right? We're like, oh yeah, you know, this nice doctor just has a white coat and this nice doctor is going to help me birth my baby, or is going to help take care of me, and I don't have to educate myself, and I don't have to be concerned, and I don't have to do any work, and I don't have to be worried because I'm in good hands, and these people have degrees, and racism doesn't exist anymore.